Jim, Dow hit 13,000 yesterday, kind of pulled back, and today it's dancing around that number. It's really just a psychological mark, right? It's really not important technically for the technical traders.
What I think is important is that it's been a long time, 4 years. And during that period, stocks have become the enemy of the investor class. I mean, frankly, stocks have been just horrendous, and they've lost people a lot of money. The idea that the Dow's coming back, still a very big and visible index, might encourage people to realize, you know what, maybe I should open my statement, maybe I should talk to my broker. It starts a dialogue. At the same time, we may have Facebook coming out. At the same time, dividends are going up. So, I mean, what I think Dow 13,000 does is remind us that stocks aren't just for suckers. And that's important because, boy, I mean, as someone who's followed the stock market for 30 years, I really hate stocks. Because they've been so punitive to people. But the Dow hasn't, and the Dow's looking pretty good.
What's different between this time and the last time is it seemed like the last time we went to 13, it was almost like the confetti bombs went off and it was cheering and a euphoria, and this time...
Well, I think we've learned our lesson. I think stocks are despised. I think that, you get a Verizon or an ATT and they're up where they are because of the yield versus the 5-year CD at 0.5. You get a Caterpillar where it's up because it's not an American company anymore. It's an overseas company. You know, tick by tick Dow. You get Intel because of the dividend, Microsoft because of the cash flow. I mean, every one of these stocks have Procter & Gamble because it's of the dividend, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer. These are all because of the dividend. And if the president changed the tax treatment for dividends, I think the stocks actually would get hit a little. But I don't think you'll have any ability to be able to raise it to ordinary income. It's kind of a silly idea.
So if I was a scared investor and I had gone to cash, could I go in at this level?
Why not buy ATT? I mean, we've been buying it for ActionAlertsPlus.com. Why not buy ATT? We've been buying a lot of good stocks for Action Alerts right here, and there's plenty of stocks. We have a big cash position, but there's plenty of stocks to buy. I don't think people have missed much at all. They had to dodge Bank of America, Alcoa. These were two.
You had to dodge Bank of America.
Yeah, well, that was bad for us. This was bad. I always like to mention the ones we don't make it. It's funny, Twitter, Jim Cramer, people say, you never mention it. It's like, well, no one ever mentions it except for me, so I really take offense to that criticism. But I would point out that there's ample stocks in the Dow that are very inexpensive on a historical basis. And remember, the S&P multiple is at 12 times earnings with interest rates incredibly low. Jeremy Siegel's work, Professor at Wharton, shows that stocks are very undervalued. They pay good dividends. A lot of people say, well, he's always bullish. I remember in March of 2000, he said sell the NASDAQ. So I regard him as being a great barometer of value here.
And as you say, there's always a bull market somewhere.
It's with dividend stocks.
Okay.